Hey, you. So if you're a student maybe wondering what's next, how to get some, actual practical experience, that's pretty normal. It can feel like a bit of a maze sometimes.
Definitely. Figuring out those next steps is a big task.
Right. So today in this deep dive, we're looking into something that might actually be a clearer path for some getting involved with Birth to Three programs.
Yeah. And we're drawing on reflections from students who've actually done this, who've been in these programs.
Exactly. And our mission here is really to pull out the key insights from what they shared to help you, the listener, see if this kind of experience could be valuable for your own path.
And what jumps out almost immediately from these reflections is, well, it's the connections, the importance of building and maintaining relationships with professionals.
Yeah, that's a big theme. One student put it really well. They said, observation experiences with all the professionals, teachers, speech therapists, PT, OT, and service coordinators helped me build a plethora of resources.
A plethora, yeah. Things like parent coaching, speech strategies,
It's exactly, etc. So think about that if you're a student, you're not just like watching from the sidelines, you're actively building a toolkit.
and a network. It's practical stuff, things you'll actually use.
So what kinds of resources are we really talking about? Is it specific therapy techniques or maybe learning about assessment tools?
It can be all of that, really.
Right.
Plus, just knowing who does what, who to talk to about specific state services or community resources, it expands your understanding way beyond the classroom.
Which gives you a real advantage, right? Understanding how the whole community and statewide service system sort of meshes together.
Definitely. That firsthand exposure is huge.
Mm.
And it connects to another big point, actually growing the early intervention workforce itself.
How so? Just by making students aware this field exists.
Partly that, yeah. But it can be transformative. We saw this quote, "When I started college, I always thought that I would be a classroom teacher."
Uh-huh. Pretty common starting point.
Right. That is, until I started my field experience in a Birth to Three program, I can't imagine myself doing anything but early intervention now.
Wow. Okay. That's a major shift. It really shows how just getting your feet wet can uncover passions you didn't even know you had.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other students might find their calling here if they just got the chance to experience it?
It raises a good question for you listening. Are you keeping an open mind about where your studies might lead? Different paths within your field.
And just practically speaking, being connected to these programs, it means you're more likely to hear about job openings down the line. It's a direct pipeline sometimes.
Gets your foot in the door. Okay, so beyond finding a career path, what about strengthening actual professional skills? That seems crucial too.
Absolutely critical. This is where you take what you learned in class concepts like family-centeredness.
Which is focusing on the whole family's needs and strengths,
Oh,
right? Not just the child.
exactly. Or things like functional outcomes, cross-disciplinary practice where different professionals work together. You see it happen.
You see it in action, not just read about it. You learn from people doing the work every day.
And students see the direct impact. One said they learn to collaborate and team effectively, provide service in a natural setting, understand and effectively engage in parent coaching.
Okay, those are concrete skills, real world stuff.
Yeah, and they also mentioned becoming more comfortable with available community resources, and then concluded, this will have the most impact on my future work.
That's powerful. That direct link between the experience and future competence. If you're worried about feeling prepared, this sounds key.
It really is. That hands-on learning builds confidence.
And let's not forget the maybe more mundane but still important part,
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling requirements.
Right. For a lot of you listening, you have course requirements, practicum hours, experience hours you need to log.
And these Birth to Three placements can often tick those boxes, sometimes across different disciplines even. It's efficient.
Very efficient. You're meeting obligations while gaining these really valuable skills and connections.
So what's the advice then for students considering this? How do they make the most of it?
Well, one student gave some great advice. They said, basically, ask questions. Open themselves up to shadowing opportunities.
Don't just sit back.
No, lean in. Shadow different professionals on the team, PT, OT, speech, service coordinators.
Mm.
It helps you better understand their role, what that role requires, and how we all interact to support each child and their family.
Understanding the teamwork aspect, that seems vital in early intervention.
It is. So proactive engagement, asking questions, being curious, that's the way to really maximize the opportunity.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. For you, the student listener, what we're seeing is that getting involved with Birth to Three programs It offers quite a lot.
Yeah, you're building those crucial professional networks and resource lists.
You might discover a career path in EI you hadn't even considered.
You're definitely strengthening practical skills, seeing theory put into practice.
And bonus, you might be fulfilling academic requirements at the same time. It's a pretty compelling package, really.
So, maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Thinking about what these students shared, what kinds of hands-on experiences could really complement your studies and your future goals?
And maybe more importantly, what concrete steps could you take, maybe even this week, to start exploring those kinds of opportunities?